You'd like all of those items pulled for future discussion?
No, we can discuss, I'd like them to be dealt with individually tonight.
Tonight. Very good. Well, item 6 is the first one. Would you like to
Well, excuse me, Mr. President. First of all, you hadn't made a motion on the finance report, so you could go ahead and approve the finance report and then move into the purchasing and contract report. So
Very good. Purchasing, or the finance report, do I hear a motion?
Move approval.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Purchasing and contract report.
Move approval?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Well, hold on.
Well, hold on, there has to be discussion because Mr. Ellis.
Discussion first,
pulled those-
sorry.
So I'm requesting that those numbered items be pulled from the consent calendar, that we just deal with those each individually. So we can vote on the consent calendar first and then move to those items. I'm fine with that. But I don't want those individual numbered items to be part of this motion to approve the contract report.
So first,
There's been a motion and a second on the purchasing and contract. Mr. Ellis has pulled those items, so you can do one of two things. You can vote on that the way it's set up, and then have discussion.
very good. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So then we have the items left that are up for discussion, which start, and is it number 6, Mr. Ellis?
Number 6 through 11 consecutively. I have a question about, I'm wondering why we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, apparently 6 different, this month alone, architecture firms that we're contracting with, and I'd just like an explanation from staff why we have so many architectural firms, and it's not, it's not a small amount of money that we're spending on these firms.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Ellis. I think that's a timely question. We're involved in a master planning process, and a big part of that is the needs assessment that we had talked to the board in the workshop about, and we're simultaneously going through a process to identify architect firms that could perform that needs assessment at every site throughout the district. That process has finished, and these are the firms that were recommended through that process. So each of the firm will have a number of sites that they're responsible for going out and working through every classroom, every room of any sort on the site, and then identifying basically an inventory of that site, so that when we turn around and the process then sets standards, we can then look at each site in that inventory and work out the design needs of that site to meet those standards.
But why not contract with one firm to do all of it? It seems like it's duplicative.
Well, and districts do that, but they're much smaller, and a district our size has never found one firm that can visit every room on every site in a timely manner. And you're familiar with the process. We need this done in the next couple of months.
Mm-hmm.
And so we didn't find any firms that could give us a proposal to do the entire district. And so when we gave them the timeline, they could take just a certain number of sites, and that's why we had to break it up and work with a number of firms in order to get it done, so that information can then get to all the committees in terms of what do we have at the site.
Okay. Mr. President, I'm prepared to vote on items 6 through 11 if you would like to do that now, or if you want to continue through the other items and then go back and vote on everything.
Let's deal with those right now.
Okay. I move to approve items 6 through 11.
I second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Item 13.
Yes, item 13, Planning Center to provide on-call CEQA and EPA consulting services for various projects within the district. I'm pretty sure I know what that's for, but that seems like a large amount of money. I'd just like to know from staff why we're paying $100,000 for this consultant.
And in fact, we won't pay it if it's not needed, but what we have found is that there are a number of projects being initiated in the district that require response to environmental impact reports. This is on call, and we bring a number of agreements to the board early in the year. We have, for example, plumbing on call, electric on call, and then if we don't have the demand for those services, we don't use them. They're actually awarded on a unit basis for just hours of work. This one, should the port, city, or other entities come up with notices of preparations of environmental impact reports, We then have somebody on call that can respond, because there's a strict timeline on those. If we have to go through a process and then hire somebody and come back to the board, we don't have time to meet that 30 or 60-day window to get a response back to them.
Do you know if this is an increase over last year of any significant amount?
Well, actually, I think we spent so far more last year responding to the railway, well, getting involved, we're still responding to the railway, the liquefied natural gas, and then the airport EIRs.
Okay, so they're principally dealing with those three issues?
Well, they are dealing with those, but we anticipate more, and this is the beginning of the year, so again, this one's going to be on call, so we're just trying to anticipate that we may get more during the year and have an environmental impact study group ready to respond should that be the case.
Mr. President, I move to approve item number 13.
Second.
All, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Item 16,
I'm sorry, Mr. President, I had item 19.
Item 19.
oh, not 19, excuse me, not 16. Item 19.
Yes, I'm curious about what the in-kind contributions to the site are going to be, because it's not really spelled out in the consent item.
I can respond to that.
Thank you, Gwen.
They provide full and partial scholarships. It's a dance, music, and drama group. They also provide consulting for musical productions. They provide scripts for rehearsals. They also provide costumes, sets and props, and they provide technical support to Hill Middle School students.
So would you say it's a net gain for the school in your opinion?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
A net gain for the school in your opinion?
Most definitely.
Absolutely, okay. Mr. President, I move to approve item number 19.
Second. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Item 31, was that your next one?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Ellis?
Yes, sir. I'm a little concerned, as I've noted in prior meetings, about the amount that we're spending on legal fees and legal expenses. And I'd just like an explanation from the staff, specific to item number 31, why we're spending potentially $250,000 on this one legal item.
Thanks again for that question, Mr. Ellis. This one has specifically to do with one issue, and that would be the airport environmental impact study and our response to that. This anticipates the potential litigation, and we have prudently budgeted for that potential. There's also the potential that litigation might not play out, in which case we might not need this entire budget. But I think approval of this item would simply signify that the board's aware of that potential and is willing to address that potential in a budget item.
Certainly, and as it's written, this is an anticipated cost potentially through June 30th of 2007. It doesn't anticipate full legal costs for the entire calendar year of 2007, for instance.
Just for the one item. And what we have done in this case is separate out this particular cost, because sometimes in these cases, legal costs become an item of negotiation in terms of settlements.
Sure.
So we've separated this out from other issues, a couple of which we just referenced, that may also involve legal costs. LNG project is a good example. But we're keeping this in a discrete contract so that should it become an item of discussion, it's discretely accounted for and presented to the board that way.
Thank you.